Hey everyone, in this video, I'm gonna show you how to create a new React app, Dockerize that React app, and deploy that front-end React app in AWS Cloud. As you can see, these are commands used to create a new React app via command line. For this purpose, you need to have a Node.js version installed in your machine. I'm opening a new terminal in VS Code. Now let's create a new project directory and type node version to see the Node.js version. And you can see I'm using version 14.16.1, and it doesn't matter if you are using a different version. On typing the first command, you can see the node modules are getting installed. This may take a while. Let's wait until it completes. Now, a Git repository for this React app is initialized, and this is where the source code resides. After a couple of minutes, our React app is ready to be launched. Let's launch that by typing the command npm start in the terminal. And here is our React app, running in the browser, in the localhost port 3000. This concludes our first section of creating and running a React app, and let's proceed to the next section. Now I'm gonna stop this running application by pressing Ctrl+C, and our application is stopped. In the existing React app source files, I have added two files. One is Docker Compose YAML file, and the second one is Docker file. As you can see, React app:/latest is our Docker image name, and the container name is my React app. Source and destination ports of our Docker container is port 80, which is production environment. And in the Docker file, we're running npm install and build commands. Nginx is the server we're going to use to run this node application, and here, we're exposing port 80 and 3001, so that our React app is accessible in Docker container via these two ports. Now, I'm going to launch Docker Desktop in my machine. It may take a while for Docker to spawn up and ready. Yes, here it is. Docker is getting started, and currently there are no containers right now. Let's jump into the command line. Now I'm typing docker-compose up command to run the Docker Compose YAML file. The Docker starts to pull the Alpine base image and runs the npm install and build commands in the Docker file. And finally, a Docker container running our React Node app with Nginx server running inside it will be created. Let's wait for a few minutes. Oops, we're getting an error message. The error information tells us we're missing some Nginx configuration files inside the source directory. To clear this error, all we have to do is copy the Nginx configuration files and paste it in the source directory. Now you can see the Nginx configuration file, which is listening on port 80. Let's get back to running Docker Compose up command again, for the second time. It might take a little longer. Let's sit back and relax for a while. Finally, our Docker container is created, running our React application. Let's check it in browser from Docker Desktop. And here it is, our Dockerized React app. This concludes our Docker section running React app. In the next section, we're going to see the AWS Lightsail console part. This is Amazon Lightsail console. Click on Create Container Service to create a Lightsail container instance. Here I'm choosing the Sydney Region AP Southeast 2 and Nano $7 instance for our container. And I'm going to rename the container service 1 to Sample React App. Then I'm going to click Setup Deployment and choose Hello World as example deployment and leave the container name as Hello World itself. And leave the default settings of port 80, HTTP and open. Finally, review the settings from top to bottom, one by one. And click Create Container Service. As you can see, the status is pending. Let's wait for a while to see the deployment in action. And it's currently provisioning service 4 out of 7 and still loading to create the resources. Now status is showing creating deployment 5 out of 7 at this moment. Creation is in progress. After a while, status changes to activating deployment 7 out of 7, only a few more seconds to see our Hello World Lightsail container app. In the end, the status message changes to running. Let's see if it's really done in our Lightsail console. Yep, the deployment status is active. Let's click the public domain URL now. And here's our Hello World Lightsail container deployed, showing the success message. In my local Windows machine, I have AWS CLI version 2 and Lightsail control plugin installed in the same path. In the next section, I'm going to show you how to push the React latest Docker image to AWS Lightsail instance. To push container images from your local machine to container service, copy this AWS CLI command in clipboard. Now you need to change this command as per your Docker image name. I will change this as per my local Docker image name and AWS container service name. Region as AP Southeast 2. Service name as Sample React App. Label, giving it as React App. And for image, referring Docker desktop, it is React App latest. Next comes the IAM section in AWS. Search and click IAM. Go into the IAM. Click on My Security Credentials. Here you can find access keys to create new one. You have to press Create New Access Key button. Let's do that. Now the access key ID and secret has been created. Copy both of them to the clipboard and paste it somewhere in Notepad. Or press Download Key File. You will see a short CSV file downloaded containing both information. Now go to Program Files, Amazon, AWS CLI version 2. And check whether you have Lightsail control plugin exe file, or copy and paste it individually here. Open Command Prompt, click Run as Administrator. And get into the directory path of AWS CLI and Lightsail control plugin via cd commands. At first, copy and paste the AWS configured command in Command Prompt, hit Enter. Next, copy and paste the access key ID from Notepad. Then, copy and paste the secret access key from clipboard. Region as AP Southeast 2. And for default output format, you can type JSON or none as per your wish. Now let's copy and paste the AWS Lightsail push command. Oops, there is an error. It seems our local machine Docker desktop is not running. Let's spawn Docker desktop and run that as an administrator. Our Docker desktop is starting. This might take few minutes depending on your machine speed. Yes, now it's ready. Now we're gonna push this React app latest Docker image to AWS Lightsail instance in cloud. Let's paste the command and hit enter. As you can see, it's immediately pushed to the cloud. And you can clearly see the console message, refer to this image as sample React app 4 in deployments. Now heading back to AWS Lightsail console. Here you can see the first version of Hello World container deployed. Let's modify and redeploy the recently pushed container image. On Choose Stored Image, you can find the recent sample React App 4 image. Click that. You can see a green info icon with a message. Saving this deployment will create a new deployment version. The sample React App 4 image is now ready to deploy as a new version. Finally hit Save and Deploy. The status immediately changes to deploying. To know what happens behind the scenes, see below Status Deploying message. Creating networking infrastructure 2/7. Provisioning service 4/7. Creating deployment 5/7. Activating deployment 7/7. The status changed to running mode. Still some final moments before deploying. And finally you can see version 2 status as active. Now let's check with public domain URL. You can see version 1 and on clicking reload, shows the new React app, version 2 deployed successfully. This completes our tutorial. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned to watch more.